All right, this story comes out of Texas. Governor Greg Abbott is a real piece of shit. With things these individuals are doing, it seems like we're still living in a Jim Crow era. They are doing these to create precedent for these individuals to continue to harm us out here, like with this Cal Rittenhouse and this North Carolina mask ban. We all know who that's targeting. But let me get into this article. Texas prosecutor seeks to overturn governor's pardon of man convicted of murdering BLM protester. Now you see how this article puts in that BLM. That's kind of synonymous with nigger. That's why they do it. Travis County District Attorney Jose Garza said Governor Greg Abbott's pardon on Daniel Perry last month was done outside legal norms and upended justice. June 4th, 2024, by Dennis Romero. A Texas prosecutor wants the state's highest criminal court to review the governor's pardon of a man convicted of murdering a Black Lives Matter protester. There we go again. See how they label it? Travis County District Attorney Jose Garza said Tuesday his office will file a request of the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals for a writ of mandamus, a decision that would overturn the pardon. As of mid-afternoon Tuesday, the request has not been filed, but would be shortly, Garza's office says. Last year, Daniel Perry, then 35, was convicted of fatally shooting Garrett Foster, 28, at a Black Lives Matter protest. Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. You see how they throwing that in there? That's synonymous for black or nigger. Where was I at Black Lives Matter protests in Austin in 2020? Perry was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Should have got more than that, and he should still be in there. The day Perry was found guilty, Governor Greg Abbott said he would pardon him as fast as legally possible. Last month, Abbott's office announced the pardon, suggesting that Perry should have been exonerated under the state stand your ground law. Perry was released from prison shortly afterward. Nah, they trying to use this stand your ground laws. He went out there intentionally looking for conflict. The text messages showed that he was out there to stir up conflict, and one of the messages in the chat, someone suggested he get a black person, and he said that's the plan. So he went out there with bad intentions to begin with. The stand your ground shouldn't even count because he shouldn't have put himself in that situation. He purposely went out there to stir up trouble. Stand your ground should not apply for him. But let me get back into this. Under Texas law, people can open fire with human life or property, including homes and vehicles, or threaten with serious violence, kidnapping, or robbery. A shooter who is justified in using deadly force has no obligation to retreat, Texas law states. The law requires that a defendant in such a situation provide evidence and an affirmative defense explaining they were in the right during such a confrontation. No, he was in the wrong because like I say, he purposely went out there looking for some trouble to get into. He had bad intentions from the beginning, so stand your ground should not apply for him. If you just going about your business and something like that happens, then you can use stand your ground law, but you went out there intentionally looking for trouble. Let me get back into it. Texas has one of the strongest stand your ground laws of self-defense that cannot be nullified by a jury or a progressive district attorney, Abbott said in a statement announcing the pardon on May 16th. On the day of the shooting, July 25th, 2020, Perry was an Army sergeant based at Fort Hood, around 70 miles north of the Austin protest. He was driving in downtown office where a Black Lives Matter. You see how many times he used that? protest was taking place. It was one of many this summer organized in the wake of George Floyd's murder by Minneapolis police officers. Perry stopped at an intersection, and police said he told them opened fire from within his vehicle in self-defense after Foster had pointed a semi-automatic rifle at him. Foster was legally carrying the rifle. More than a year later, a Travis County grand jury indicted Perry for murder. Prosecutors said there was no evidence that Foster pointed his weapon, and citing texts and social media posts, prosecutors attempted to portray Perry as a racist who would have simply driven away, who could have simply driven away. And that's exactly what happened. He was out there looking for that action. On April 7th, 2023, Perry was convicted of murder. The jury acquitted him of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Now, why is that? The governor sought and received a unanimous recommendation for a pardon by the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles. On Tuesday, the Travis County DA, speaking at a news conference, announcing in his office's challenge to the pardon, said Abbott's move was designed to circumvent the process. The codified process to support a finding of innocence was not followed, the prosecutor said. Garther suggested pardons could not be granted on an whim or to carry populist favor, but must be vetted by a process that said the governor did not complete. Not only did he circumvent the process for pardons, he exceeded his authority and violated the separation of powers doctrine, the prosecutor said. Perry's attorney, Clinton Brodin, said in a statement Tuesday that the government had full authority to issue a pardon and did so legally. Don't seem like it was legal to me, but okay. Governor Abbott used pardon powers similar to the pardon powers given to almost every other state governor in the United States, as well as similar to the pardon powers given to the President of the United States, he said. The lawyer accused Garther, a Democrat in a progressive county, of using the case to challenge the Republican governor's conservative policies. The prosecutor of Daniel Perry was political from the onset, he said. He called the attempt to overrule a pardon a frivolous pursuit. Foster's mother, Sheila Foster, spoke during Tuesday's news conference, saying we had justice for Garrett for a short time before the governor's pardon. She noted her son's service in the U.S. Air Force before saying, my own child was killed on American soil for doing nothing but practicing his First and Second Amendment rights. And our governor just said that's okay, that's acceptable, as long as he doesn't like the victim or what the victim is saying. Hopefully this prosecutor can overturn this pardon, because this man definitely needs to be in jail. Like I say, stand your ground has no place in this case, because this man purposely went out there for a confrontation. I mean, you could see it in the text before he shot this man. And stand your ground shouldn't apply also, because all the witnesses said that the man never pointed his gun at him, so he had no reason to open fire on that man. It just seems like he went out there for trouble, and he found this man and saw this man with a gun and figured he can get away with justifiably shooting him. Stand your ground has no place in this case. Stand your ground should only apply when someone is, if you have no other means to retreat. I know they're saying you have to retreat and stand your ground, but I think that's bullshit, especially, like I say, he had no reason to be out there. He purposely went out there drumming up trouble, and he ended up shooting this man. Hopefully this prosecutor can get him back where he belongs, behind bars. It seems like when we see cases like this, that they are trying to create a precedent and to enable more people to do such things like this. Like some places where you have protesters in the road and there are laws that are protecting individuals when they run these protesters over. Man, we know what it is. We know what it is. Like I say, it seems like we still in Jim Crow. Like it's never went anywhere. It's still going on. They just a little more convert with the way they do things now. Yep, I'm gonna drop this here. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Greg Abbott, you a real piece of shit.